Things that I think are overrated in pageants. Number one, tippy toe heels. These are those really high heels, and they're usually like 4 inches. And a lot of girls, even myself, had a very hard time walking in them. So I definitely do think that they are overrated and they should not be prioritized. And I also think that when it comes to performance, it doesn't matter how high your shoe is. So I actually do better in shorter heels than the really tall ones personally. But whatever you like better is good. It is all about your execution, so the heel height does not matter. Next is sparkly dresses. Now hear me out. I have just seen a whole bunch of them on stage, so I feel like you can do even better to really stand out on stage. And getting recognized on stage is a huge priority to actually get to the next level. It's not that I don't like sparkly dresses. I do think that you can do it correctly to stand out on stage, but just be careful because there's a lot of them on stage, especially like nude colors or even like white. Occasionally, just be careful. As long as if you do it correctly, I don't think there's a problem, but the stereotypical ones, you know what I'm talking about. There's some like on the Miss Universe stage that are always seen, and it's just like, we've been there and done that. Another thing I think that we should ask with beauty pageants is over spray tanning. So a lot of girls are actually like orangey on stage, you know what I'm talking about. Especially in America, I've noticed too. Definitely tone it down or even X it out completely or just do like bare minimum like sun-kissed glow. I don't think you need it. I think that actually like glowy skin with like sunscreen or lotion just does the trick personally. What about you guys? Another thing too is I think that all the girls do their hair with extensions, which is okay, but make sure you're not doing it like everyone else does. A lot of people typically do like curly hair extensions, which is beautiful, but if you're gonna do it, make sure it's something that stands out on stage, like maybe something that is more like old Hollywood, potentially with like the right accessories. But I feel like you can really miss it with hair. And also sometimes it can also be a very good thing to have like an updo depending on the dress and the fit that you're wearing. So I think the best thing that you can do is be the best version of yourself and whatever that is to have you stand out on stage, but also make yourself feel confident. So you also want a hairstyle that makes you feel confident, but isn't something that is going to make you blend in at the same time. Another thing that I think is kind of overhyped, especially in the US, is they actually had a lot of sponsors with Sherry Hill, which is great, but I'd just like to see things change up in variety. So like if all the girls are wearing like Sherry Hill dresses, it is just the same cookie cutter thing. So we've seen a lot of Sherry Hill dresses too. I'd like to see a more variety. And there's some really good ones like even in like the Philippines, Thailand. So I would like to see more options, better options. Not saying they're not bad, but I'm just saying in this area, like you see a lot of it. Or even Giovanni isn't as used here, which I like personally. I wore Giovanni. This is just my personal opinion too. Sherry Hill's a great company. I'm just saying, and I love them too. And I even have a Sherry Hill like that I wore to prom. But the thing is though, I feel like in America personally, it's been all over stage. And I think it's because of like sponsorships too. But personally, I would just like to see more options. Another thing I think that is overhyped too is the swimsuit competition. I wish there was more variety of different kinds of swimsuits. They are usually bought by a specific brand for the entire event, or they are under a strict dress code to abide by it. And I wish that we had more abilities for people to really stand out on stage with it. Occasionally you'll see it, but I just hate seeing the same cookie cutter thing. But it's definitely about confidence in your fitness. So that is not the main priority there, but that is something that I would love to see. And I don't know about you guys, but I even love swimsuit as someone who competed in pageants. So definitely very fun. And let me know if you guys want me to make this a series because I definitely have a whole lot more to say, but not a lot of time. I actually competed for 4 years when I was in my 20s in pageants. So I'm not an expert or anything, but I definitely enjoy talking about it and have a lot of opinions.